All right, well, here it is. This is the Falken T4W, and thanks to Discount Tire, I was able to find out what the fourth W is. The name does actually make sense because the fourth W stands for warranty. You guys know that up until just a few years ago, if you bought an oversized off-road tire like this, you didn't get any warranty. Okay, I didn't know of any manufacturers that were putting a treadwear warranty on their big oversized off-road tires. A couple of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I don't know, when all the COVID stuff broke out and prices started getting insane, I started to notice that there were a few manufacturers that would put a tread wear warranty on even their off-road tires. Probably because with the prices going up so much, they figured that people are going to want some more peace of mind before they make a purchase like this. So some of them started putting tread life warranties on their off-road tires. Falken has jumped on that wagon now, and they give you an excellent warranty on the AT4W. The standard sizes have a 65,000 mile warranty on them, which is just crazy. But even the off-road tires, like this 35 here, come with a 60,000 mile warranty. So when you buy one of these tires, you know that you're going to get your money's worth out of it. So you still have the excellent wet traction, excellent winter traction, great wear, and now a warranty, hence the 4Ws. So let's talk a little bit about this tire. The AT3W, as I've mentioned before, kind of got this YouTube channel going. When it came out 8 years ago now, a lot of people hadn't heard of the Falken name yet. It was not a household name in tires just yet. At least not in the off-road world. And so a lot of guys wondered, if they could trust these tires. Is it a good brand to go with? And all that kind of thing. So I made a lot of long-term videos, long-term review videos on the AT3, and people loved it. Got a lot of views, really kind of got things going. So the AT3W will always be special to me, but now, 8 years later, they decided to update the tire, and now we have the AT4W. So without further ado, I'm going to get the camera and give you a good close-up view of these tires in person, and we'll kind of go over what Falken has changed on the latest generation. All right, so first of all, one big difference is that you now have a 3D, a heavy-duty 3-ply is what I was trying to say, sidewall. You can see that these have the Duraspec sidewalls on them now, which is a technology that they have in the MT version of the tire. You remember the AT3 had 2-ply sidewalls, albeit they were very thick, robust 2-ply sidewalls. Never had any trouble out of them whatsoever. I don't know anybody that had any trouble out of them. But I guess Falken decided, hey, let's go all out here and let's put the best sidewall technology we can in this new tire. So you've got the 3-ply Duraspec sidewalls in there. That's an update. You can see that the design, the aesthetics here are a little bit different. They changed the design of the shoulder a little bit. Personally, I think the AT3 looks better. I don't like this change that they made. This design right here is pretty similar, but it's this shoulder area up here that has changed. And I just, the little grooves, the symmetrical grooves that the AT3 has, I just think they look better. But anyway, that's one change. You can see how this sidewall has the raised black letters. And if you look at the other side, you have more of a smoother black letter, which is kind of like the AT3 right there. But if you like the raised black letter, you've got that option now too. I really wish, being an old school kind of guy, I really wish the Falken would have taken the time to give us a raised white letter. There's just something about a raised white letter tire that looks awesome on a big truck or a Jeep. BF Goodrich still does that on a lot of tires. General, Cooper, there's still some brands out there doing that. I really wish Falken would have done that, but they didn't. So you do have the raised black letters on this side as well. You'll notice that the heat diffuser technology is back. All right, so that's something that came out on the AT3 tire. We saw it on the MT. Strangely, it was absent from the RT when it was released last year. I ordered those in a 35x12.50, and it did not have that heat diffuser technology around the bead. Don't have any idea why. Pretty cool stuff. But the AT4 still has it, and it's a little bit updated. And the idea here is that it's sort of like a radiator in your vehicle, or like you've seen those differential covers that have fins on them, right? So the more surface area you can put there, the more heat you can dissipate. And the bead is a critical area of the tire. You'd be surprised how much your tires will heat up, guys. You know, I've seen as much as a 10 psi jump in air pressure just from driving down the road with a trailer behind me. You know, so you can kind of forget how much heat and pressure you build up in your tires when you're using your truck out on the road, especially when you're pulling a big camper or something. So that's the idea of the heat diffuser technology. Help to keep that bead, very critical part of the tire, cool when you're going down the road. See the red dot? Down here you've got a yellow dot. So they're still doing that. These are balancing marks. Tire shop employees who know what they're doing will know how to use those. Those show you the high and the low parts of the tire in terms of weight, because you know, they try their best to make these tires perfectly round, but it's almost impossible to make a tire of this size perfectly round. I mean, there's going to be a little bit of minute change as you go around the tire. So those marks show you the high and the low spots in the tire in terms of weight. And like I said, if you have an installer that knows what they're doing, they can align those marks the way that they're supposed to, and it will cause your tire and wheel assembly to require less weight to balance. So it's cool that Falken still does that. All right, here's the meat and potatoes, which is the tread pattern. And you can see that it's, again, just an update of a really awesome design that they had on the AT3, but they've changed a couple of things. First of all, the rubber compound is new. That makes me kind of nervous. The AT3, 8 years later, is still the best all-terrain tire I have found yet. I mean, they worked magic with that tire. It grips the road so well in any weather conditions. Amazing rubber compound. I just love it. Best tire I've ever found. So when they change that, you know, it kind of makes me nervous. It's like, why would you change something that's perfect, pretty much, you know? The other thing is with the mileage warranty they put on here. I guess that's probably one of the reasons they changed the rubber compound, is because they wanted to be able to offer a better warranty. Well, in my experience, usually what happens is when they make a tire that will wear really, really well and last forever, in order to do that, they have to make the durometer, you know, what am I trying to explain here? Basically the hardness, I guess you would say, of the rubber compound increases. All right, the tread blocks get a little harder, and that way they can resist abrasion and they can last longer. The drawback to that is when you do that, you also reduce friction. So you don't get the same traction on the road. I mean, think about like a Mustang GT or something. Some guys put really, really soft tires on there so they can get really good traction. But everybody knows those tires don't last. You might get 15 or 20,000 miles out of them and you're done, right? There's a trade-off there between how soft your rubber compound is and your traction and how long it'll last. So in the past, what these companies would do is they would kind of try and get it in the middle there, you know, try to design it where it had good traction, but it would still last long enough, you know. So it makes me kind of nervous that some of these companies now are trying to get more and more and more miles out of these tires, because I'm afraid that in doing that, they're going to sacrifice some of the great traction that they used to have. But time will tell. I'm getting ready to put these on the truck and run them through their paces. And like I always say, they're going to see everything. Snow, rain, towing, heat, cold, off-road, on-road. They're going to see everything. So we will see soon enough if this new rubber compound can grip the road like a cat on carpet the way that the AT3 did, or will my fears be realized? Hopefully not. But that's something that they changed, was the rubber compound. The tread design, as you can see, hasn't changed a lot. They did try to make these tread blocks a little more rigid. They did that for the heavy-duty truck guys like me that haul and tow. If you make the tread blocks more rigid, then you can improve your fuel economy just a little bit. You can also improve your stability just a little bit, because the tread blocks, you don't want your tread blocks to squirm around as the tires are rolling down the road and the tread blocks are hitting the pavement. You don't want these tread blocks to be squirming around, because that kind of leads to some other issues. So they increased the rigidity, basically, of these tread blocks. You do still have really good siping. See all the siping? So I expect that this tire will be good in the rain and the snow. It does have the 3-peak mountain snowflake. So some of you people who live out in, say, the Rocky Mountains or up in northern areas where they require you to have tires that have that rating on them, you do get that rating with this tire. So that's pretty cool. All in all, I think it's going to be a big hit. I'm just anxious to see how it's going to perform compared to its predecessor. So like I said, this is a 35-12.50R18. 128 is the load rating. So I can put these on my Super Duty truck and have no problems at all. This is a HD spec. So some sizes of this tire are what they call a heavy duty spec, and this is one of them, obviously, which means that basically it's just even better for use on a heavy duty pickup truck, which a lot of guys will really love. I put this on the bathroom scale and it came out to 71 pounds. On the website, Falken lists this tire at a 35-12.50R18 at 72 pounds. So, I mean, there's, standard variation there between bathroom scales and their probably more precise scales. But basically, you're looking at low 70s as far as the weight goes in pounds, which is pretty typical for a tire of this size. I've seen some of them run, some brands run upper 60s pounds. But all of these different brands on a 35-12.50 are pretty similar in weight, within 5 pounds of each other. So I don't feel like that's horrible. There are definitely some tires out there that are worse. So let's get some measurements on this new tire. First of all, tread width. We all know what the section width is, but I like to see what the actual tread width is so that I know what I'm working with when I put these on my wheels. So I'll stick the tape measure on here, try to get it over to that edge right there. And looks like we've got about 10.5. Yeah, about 10.5 inches of tread width. Camera didn't like to focus there, did it? And I've got the tire sitting on a board to eliminate the variance with the gravel that I'm sitting on right here. So now let's see how tall this tire is. And in order to do that, what I usually do is I put a level on the tire so that I can get it perfect. Got my bubble in there. So now we can just get down here and take a measurement from the ground all the way up. And it is 34.5 inches. See that? 34.5 inches. Is what this tire measures out to be. And like I said, the size, well, can't see it on that one. The size is a 35-12.50R18. So that's pretty much par for the course. Everybody talks about on the Facebook groups and the forums and everything, people talk about how tires don't run true to size. Well, here's what you have to remember about that. When the tire manufacturer lists the dimensions on a tire, what they do is they mount the tire on a specific width wheel at a specific air pressure, and then they measure including the bulge of the sidewalls, okay? But you and I don't do that. We measure tires the same way I just showed you, which is a straight line from the ground to the top of the tire. So that's where the difference comes from. If you were to, go to the great lengths of measuring this tire or any off-road tire the same way that the manufacturer does, you would get the exact listed size that they show on their website, but we don't. We have our own wheels that we use and our own tire pressure that we use, and we don't include the bulge of the sidewalls. So that's why the measurements come out a little shorter than advertised. It's not that there's an error there or some kind of a defect. It's just the way that it is, two different forms of measurement. But anyway, so for a 35-12.50 tire, the AT4 is exactly the same size as all the other tires of this size that I have reviewed in the past. It's not a tire that runs big, but it doesn't run smaller than the other competitors' tires either. It's right on the money for a 35. Good job, Falken. All right, so that's a look at the new Falken AT4 tire, and like I said, I can't wait to get them on the truck, and we'll do some more testing as far as handling, road noise, how do they do in the foul weather. You know, we just had quite a bit of snow last week here. It's raining like crazy out there now, so I'll get them on the truck. We'll see how they balance out. Hopefully they balance out a lot better than the RTs that I had last year. You can go search the old videos from last year for that whole debacle. Hopefully I will not have that trouble again. That would be a disaster if that happened to me again. But yeah, we'll get them on the truck, try them out on the Super Duty, do a long-term review, see how they hold up. Falken AT4, probably going to be the best new tire of the year as far as tire releases are going these days. I'm thinking this is probably going to be the one to get. But we'll find out soon enough. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, you can shoot them over. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.